Guillaume, you are here to do a little presentation about CIRCOM training, and there will be a distribution of the certificates.
Yeah.
So the floor is totally yours.
That's good, because we're going to need room to put all these marvelous delegates before your eyes.
Okay.
Hi.
Do you want me to go? Huh?
It's perfectly fine. Please stay with us. I just had word that the Serbian National Hairdressers Association is out of blue hair dye. Was it you guys? No? Okay. So, we just, before that very conference, did I can use these mics, I think, thank you. We just had a 4-day, quite intense training, and maybe you will hear from the delegates in a few moments, here in Novi Sad. I want to thank RTV for organizing the training, because you guys see the conference, but they also did a really good work in organizing the training before, because that's what we do at CIRCOM. We always take the opportunity, thank you, I'm going to play that from the computer, take the opportunity of having an international event and turn that into an opportunity for your team members to learn stuff. So you heard me yesterday talk about what's going on, and that's precisely what we're trying to make the delegates aware of. And what we're trying to do is to change their mindsets. You know that CIRCOM has been doing some journalism training back 25 years ago in Yash, and then video journalism and mobile journalism, so we try to stay ahead of the curve. So we think it's very relevant for us to try to gather the best practices in the business to tell your team members how to wrap their heads around this very problem of designing new formats. And it's quite a different training than the ones we did before, because they were all very practical. All the previous trainings were about mastering new tools to do what you already knew how to do. So that is, how do you get creative? How do you just flip the table over and start again? And how do you repeat that process on and on and on again? So, long story short, we had the great opportunity to have with us excellent trainers, and I want to particularly thank them, and especially Johannes, who was attacked yesterday evening in Novi Sad. But he's fine, but it could have ended up much worse. I'm really happy to see him here, all sound and good. Hi, are you surviving there? Cool. So Johannes Kardel, if you please can join me, he's from SVT. He's kind of, yeah, come on stage. Johannes Kardel is a trainer from SVT Sweden, and he's trying to do that, to create new content with existing stuff and to come up with new things. I'd like to call up to stage also Colin Sohail from the BBC. She's working in London, managing a team of online creators also. Vitse Velinga is not with us anymore, but he's from Omloop Friesland, and he was helping us, teaching about the tools we use. And Hans Jessen, that are already brought up on stage yesterday, so you know him. He's got blue hair already. So these guys are really great into helping and sharing about methods, techniques. That training is all about understanding the change. That's the first part of it. And then giving constantly evolving techniques and methods to make the change happen. So what these guys are learning every day, and I'm just like the organizer, curator of the training, but these are the guys actually doing the work. Hans is specializing in storytelling techniques and how to adapt them into new formats. Current is very relevant in how you find the right format for the right audience, how do you find the right format for the right platform, and Johannes is very relevant in how you transform existing and try to reach. So that massive information they have in their heads is, I ask them to digest it, and I think it's useful to them also to kind of put it together into training sessions so that we all learn we're not just teaching, we all learn about these new things. So Vicek couldn't come, so instead he put together a small video to say hello, so we're going to run that. Just imagine the sound is present, because I couldn't. That's not actually the tech guy's fault, it's mine. So even though you saw a sign there pointing at the swimming pool, we didn't spend all training in the swimming pool. So what you saw is a mix of teaching and practicing, and that is something we very much believe in. And what we do is we give out all we can to make them understand what I told you yesterday. And we have them have a go. We have them prototype stuff. We have them think creatively. So we split the group in two, and there are two competing newsrooms, virtual temporary newsrooms that are covering the same event, which on purpose is a very broad topic. So we asked these guys to produce items and to reach young 16 to 25-year-olds with stories about the role of women in society. So they try to wrap their heads around, so they spend half a day prototyping, brainstorming, trying to find the right format, trying to find the right tone, and just before we call these guys on stage and hand them the almighty proof that they can show and wave at their bosses to say that yes, they were not in the swimming pool, I'd like to run a few examples of that. So I've been, showing to you guys in the previous years and also yesterday some new formats. So you have a huge variety of formats to choose from. It's not just like, traditional TV package or the live. There's much more things to be done online. So you need to kind of think, what is the specific format I want to use? For whom does it work? Who can I reach with those? So that's the design process, which is the most important in my mind, and the fact that they should work as groups to come up with that stuff and not being individuals who just tackle as they would cover a news story with a television package. They just do it automatically because they know how to do it. Each time you want to produce a new video or any kind of format, you need to start afresh and you start to go into design process, and that's where it hurts, because we're good at improvising in television. We're not very good at using methods and structured processes. So I'd like to show you an explainer that Leroy and Vedran, they're going to meet very shortly, put together. So let's roll that.
We men, we rule the world, right? We men, we all like technical gadgets. We're the best at computers, right?
No, Leroy, you are wrong. The first computer programmer was a woman. Who's that girl? It was Ada Lovelace in the 1840s.
We men? Yeah, we're very powerful. In the parliament, they're just only men.
No, Leroy, you are wrong again. 64% of the parliament in Rwanda is woman.
Okay. Maybe we're not that powerful, but we got the brains. We're the smartest.
Leroy, you are strong, but you are also wrong. The two highest IQ scored in recorded history belong to women.
No, Vedran, I'm sorry. Yeah? I pronounced it wrong. It is we men rule the world.
They put that together in one day. I mean, rushing through the designing process, the actual shooting with limited access to tools in another language. It's a very difficult task to achieve. How do you think they did? That's a huge, massive crowd reaction. I love that. I was after that. Okay, I think they did really well. I'm proud of that. You need to, in order to get that as results, you need to change completely the way people approach their work. And it's fun. It's lively. There are like interstitial videos and laughs and stuff, but there's a story there, and that's the main focus. Is just to keep in mind that we are still journalists. We're trying to make, as we said yesterday, exciting content, but informative content, something where you learn stuff, food for thought. So I just want to show you another example, which is another format, which is actually not meant to be, projected onto massive screens during a conference. It's meant to be watched on a device. It's a multimedia story, if you will, that is about a young woman that was forced to marry a guy she met a few days before. A story that Pavla from Czech Republic did and shot herself and put together into that interactive format with both text, sounds, and video interviews. So you just scroll on your phone or computer and you get the content in a sort of a web doc format. And there was, beautiful pictures, meaningful text and sound bites, and of course, she found, with the help of Diana, the local journalist here, a witness. So that's another form of format that is aimed at another type of audience, and that's what it's all about. It's to understand that you need to do some narrow things for a limited number of people, and that these formats will get really touch the aim and the target group. So well done, Pavla. I think that's really nice. And now I feel like one of these guys on television. I have certificates, and I'm going to call them on stage and maybe talk about the experience. And while I get ready, I just maybe wanted to hear from you guys. Calvin, you can please come a bit closer. When you saw the delegates come into the room on the first day, and what they did on the last day, could you see any difference in the mindset they have?
Yeah, hugely. When they came in on the first day, they were very much, well, we do it like this, but TV does it like this. But we can't do it like that because we do it like this. And they were very kind of stuck in a particular mindset, on one way of doing things. And what we were trying to do is just tell them that every time you work on a story, see it as a blank sheet of paper. You're in TV, it sort of templates you in doing things just one way, but this is an opportunity for you to really be journalists and really get your stories out to a much, much wider audience. And to do that, you need to start with a blank piece of paper and think, how can I tell this story for this audience? How can I tell this story on this platform? So just kind of breaking down the walls, the barriers, so that they were thinking far more creatively about their stories, for one, but also having pride in their journalism and wanting their journalism not just to kind of live and die by the evening tea time bulletin, but actually how can we make this story go further and how can we reach another audience? Effectively, we've done this at BBC London, but we've doubled our audience. We've got about up to 1 million viewers on TV, but I can reach 1 million people across social and digital. And I just think that's great for our journalism, especially our original journalism.
Yep, I would agree with that. Nora Enns, please come to the stage. And you can give them, a bit of a round of applause, I think. Marco Perken, Beatrice Terra. I don't know when I speak in a German accent, but that's it. Vedran Vdejevic. Tatiana Vasileva, Pavla Kruchova, Jaka Dobaj-Kovacevic, Leroy Vukteven, he had to leave, Maja Lalis Bozanovic, and Diana Markovic. There you are. And while you guys are receiving your certificates, I'd like Pavla to speak, please. Pavla was probably the person in the train that said the most, yes, but in TV we can't do that. What do you think of the training, Pavla?
Yeah, it was very fulfilling, and I can think we can take some new things and put them in the classic format. Because I'm really like the nostalgic one. I like the old way, but it could be boring sometimes. So yeah, we can find a new way.
Everybody got the certificates?
No, not you.
Not you. Okay, you're gonna correct that. So most of them actually had to leave a bit earlier because of flight issues and stuff. So I'm really glad that we are able at CIRCOM to experiment with that. That training was different from last year's training. We took in the remarks, the feedback that the trainers, also the other trainers gave. We're going to have to make slight changes to make that even better. And just to conclude, I want to say two things. I mean, don't stop there. The biggest problem now is to convince you guys to let them do what they need to do in order for you to reach new audiences. I've seen too many people come back from training really enthusiastic and lose that enthusiasm after 2 weeks because they were not allowed or able, they didn't have time to do what they learned. So please, please, please give them space, let them fail. Let them experiment, fall flat on their faces and try again. There's no recipe this time. We don't know how to do that. They need to try. Every market has a different approach. Every country has cultural differences. They need to try and see what works. But we think that we gave them some good methods to design and execute new formats. Yeah? That was solid enough? Yeah. Okay. Hans? So it's always nice when you are middle-aged and you have an older guy to ask stuff, about his experience and things. So you are the most experienced trainers of us all. You actually started training 25 years ago in Iași,
yes,
Romania.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
How come you're still around there? No, just joking. What I'm saying is
thank you very much.
No, I partly mean it in asking you. It's very different from 25 years ago. Yet the sort of training you give is still relevant. How do you feel about what they should do, and how do you feel about the training we just had?
Each training course is like a new love, and we know it from our lives. Every new love is a new story, but still it is a love. And so this is to all the training courses I've participated in these 25 years. They all were different, but they all had the very, very same content, doing journalism, telling stories, encouraging people to try something new. That's what it's all about. They achieved it, we together achieved it in this course, and that's what I'm very, very glad about.
Cool. Yeah. I'm just going to do a shameless plug of another CIRCOM training we did and we tried, which is not too far from this one. We did 4 sessions in Brussels together with the European Parliament in Brussels and Strasbourg, with both journalists from your member stations and also people working for the European Parliament. And I just wanted to mention on stage during the conference that I'm particularly happy about the way things turned out for both CIRCOM and DEP. The goal of the training was to help these people design new formats before the elections, and it's very difficult to tell what's what, but more people showed up to the voting booth this time, and if we even had a tiny role in that, I'm very proud of it. Does anybody of you guys want to try to do an old format, which is a group picture before the stage? Yeah? Fernando? Please. Come on, guys. Come on. And do a nice group picture. The closing ceremony. Group picture. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Well, before we officially close the annual CIRCOM conference, I would like to invite again 3 gentlemen to come and say farewell and say see you next year in Ireland. I would like Mr. Yuri Katajarahko to join us here. Oh, you're okay. Of course, Mile Boca and Fernando Hea, President, Vice President, and General Secretary. Gentlemen, please.
Yeah, everything good ends at the time, and now it's time to end this conference this time. In the morning, Mile said to me, "Can you give us some conclusions?" And I said to him, "Yeah, right." But when you think about it, we all have to do our own conclusions, because now we have seen very good ideas, we have seen predicts, we have seen answers, we have seen conclusions. And I think that what we have to do next is to go home and do our job. That's why we are paid for. We are in a different situations, depends on in what country you are, what kind of situation your company is, and act like it's wise to do. And in what kind of situation your audience is. We have different situations in different parts of Europe, but we know where the world is heading and what kind of things we have to think. We are in a different situation in Spain than in Finland or in UK or in Sweden. Norwegians doesn't have to do anything because they win all the trophies already. Kidding. But, you know, we have to act, we have to do things, and together we are strong because we can share ideas and trainings and good decisions and everything. But I want to thank everybody. We have had great conference. Thanks to our hosts, thanks to presenters, and congratulations all the winners, and thanks for the audience, and thanks for the CIRCOM band. Thank you.
Just a short note. What will you tell your boss when you go back home? What do you tell your colleagues? What did you find out here? 50 Shades of Public Service. Please get ready for the robot's attack. Scary face and voice manipulation. You need urgently to turn your hair blue. What are you going to tell? Did you discover a new up-and-coming music band, by the way? Anyway, whatever it is, your message home, as Yuri said, we want to thank RTV Vojvodina for their huge work. I want to thank also I want to thank CIRCOM Secretariat. They work very tough in the backstage, always. To thank other people helping out, like the open young people and the volunteers and everyone that made this possible. And just epilogue. We are working with RTV so that all the sessions are posted on our website. We're working for have them available. It may take a little, maybe a little time, but we wish that if you missed some session because you had to be in another room or with some meeting, you can find them and watch them again anyway. And also, you know that the pre-winner entries and commended are available for those who run your channels. They can be broadcast for 1 year many other entries that are pointed in green in the jury report are available to be broadcast if you get the right deal with the producers. So there's a long epilogue before we face the new conference in Galway, which we're going to present shortly now in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank some people from the CIRCOM organization who helped a lot in preparing this conference. First, Guillaume, who organized that training with all the trainers that were here. Second, the Secretariat. They've helped a lot, Branka, Zvijezdana, and Tonya, and Brigitte. David, who helped and coordinate all the preparations for the pre-CIRCOM. Thank you, David. Also for your couple of songs. Thank you. Good. And of course, the people who helped me in designing the program of the conference, Jane, Birch, Christina, Fernando, Yuri helped with those two Finnish guys, which were excellent, and the others. So everything that went wrong, blame on me. Everything which were good, it's organized by RTV. So that's it. Thank you for your time. Hopefully you will come again to Novi Sad.
So it's officially over?
No, Joe Reddington announcing.
We're going to announce the next.
Oh, okay. Just while we're waiting for the gentleman, some of you asked, what about cultural trip? If you don't have to rush, if you don't have to fly or leave Novi Sad, make sure that you use this opportunity. And for people who were inquiring, where do we start from? Mila has an explanation.
The bus will start at the parking lot of Hotel Park, which is nearby on the right. If you go right, 500 meters, maybe less, from here, from the exit of this master center, there will be a double-decker bus for the cultural trip. It starts at 3:30. So you have that on the website updated. One more thing, the BBC guys, the Blue Room will be available half an hour after the lunch. So the lunch will start in, what time do you need for that?
5 minutes.
The lunch will be served in 5 minutes, so that's it.
I promise.
Well, what an introduction. The lunch is going to start. But yeah, have your 5 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
Please.
There's a presentation. Can we get that?
Yeah, I think maybe we can ask the guys from the IT just to. Yeah. Anyway, next year, Ireland.
Ireland, yes.
Great.
Okay. So can I just start by echoing all the thanks to RTV Vojvodina for a fantastic conference, and this would be a big challenge for TG Ceathair and Ireland to be as good. So we'll do our best. Galway is a great place, and Mary Ellen is going to describe, talk about TG Ceathair, talk a little bit about Galway, and we're going to show you how great we all are. So. Do we have the promo?
Mila is checking that.
Okay, okay.
I don't have a computer with you.
I have a laptop.
So, here I am, still talking.
Do you need the rest of the band?
Yeah. Bad Moon Rising. Maybe we could think about some songs we might do next year. While we're waiting.
Can you do this?
Do you have sound in it?
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
Where does it go? Okay. This is the back.
Okay. I don't think you have the right plug on that computer. That's fun. No. No. Okay.
No. It's Tanya. It's Tanya.
We can try with that. Hi again.
I'll try and find it.
So apparently the tech guy went on the lunch break already.
No, there he is.
Okay. Does that work? Yeah. So sound, and we all set. Is that? There you go. I'm just gonna leave that. Sorry.
Do you want to go now?
Okay. So the next year's conference will be hosted by TG Cahir, and I want you to welcome Mary Ellen Nicholine from TG Cahir, who will talk a little about the company and the location.
Okay. So firstly, I'd like to just thank CIRCOM and RTV and the people of Novi Sad for a great conference. We in TG Cahir are delighted to be hosting CIRCOM 2020 in Galway, Ireland. Galway is a vibrant city full of arts and cultures, and it actually is the European Capital of Culture in 2020. So TG Cahir is an Irish language public broadcaster. We predominantly broadcast in Irish, but we have some English language content also. One of our strategic objectives is to support the development and internationalisation of the independent sector. So we particularly emphasise independent productions and give them output deals and help them grow and look outwards instead of internally. So there are three main pillars within our vision, and that's growth, partnership and solidarity. So we invite you now to come to Galway, first of all, in 2020, and to look at the showreel and have a look at TG Cahir and what Galway has to offer. Is there sound?
Head, hua, hier has. Nuja.
Míle fáilte over asríis, tá de geachtas na sauna.
Head, hua, hier has. Nujacht a hugans leergus skelta pobl.
Marach, Lomax, ní bheoch an ceol atá nisiguin, có sever agus atá. Ná buile.
John Laura Cocrocht a bhí ag Hananti.
The village is dying in its knees, and there seems to be nothing being done about it.
Shate Marshin, Soit War na Hika, Creve na Hayden.
An aige, an éibsir, tá cehar fiú agus an téastáchtaí go fad an éibhói.
Is misisiúg sin agus inmh tám chun páirt nua a ghála mar an concertina.
Ní le na báid se ach muid agus ní againe a chuiad.
An clubs na duine bhain seata se inta táhata don phobal an seo.
Tá féin ahannas na méil préomhaithe i mailte bebre ar núslach go néire. Agus má ligtar gon síl seo imach nach bebre tá fágtaí.
Tána Óstán lá, tána Airbnbs, tána campervans an saga tub. Gafil is inna co, leveling, unsa, inrahida or flash, yon na hair and gafil is a hook deal.
Welcome to the Junior Eurovision Song Contest 2018 in Minsk, Belarus!
Fáilteas bhí go gradam ceol gábhíle san ídeag agus bud teach go beobacha as Belfast de Coscún.
Ócáid fear special an seo an lá is mó I féidir na man.
Today here in Borca Croking, 50,141.
Like tréis an son bhí gachar coiciún agus go tobal nuair an tagan an míl mór dronach I dtí bar nisce just ahlíonn an fuinneamh.
Myself and my sister, we used to put bets on with our parents whether we thought the tide would be high or low in the mornings. Low tide meant we'd get to school quicker, and high tide meant we'd have to take the long way around by the road.
Ní bhaile an balla go deo, agus ar an dáthíomh tá daoine ghrásin, níl mis an anna eáil fós.
You may rave ein áitir down to see the show, just ní point you ain't sus.
The environment show like na they're clean sort of feel a big again.
Níor an chluthe tasna ach nómach nóá nar a higus agus hig gachéanana in gansaí chéirí an lásan. Ru d éigen de fiúlar siúla tá.
Da gahi cyn o siart mag yn discus mas y bortach. Dit sy'n gallu bawlwr ti efo rawlwch like cwtwn discus.
Isio mae amser dw, isio mae wale. Ys gyd ym dagan i'r bi. Tan wale a da tarin jad o olw.
Ultra, Moontor, Banon T. She's a pilot, a doctor, an engineer. She's whatever she wants to be. Phenomenal woman.
Is mol sótata é blach a tá file na hard an goléir.
Steve se bhfuil a réalaigh garda bhar gríthe, táisiigí sa bhála le bhar gairde nó san obair.
Fáinge siúgatí ací agus budí ací faoin na bostaí.
Sné orgin fiolaid an bhuiidir ar fad is lang go fóil.
Thanks, Mary Ellen. As you can see, no shortage of music then in Galway. There are a few themes that are being explored in relation to the conference next year. One of them is the notion of value. What is the value that we as public service media bring to our regions, bring to our economy and bring to our politics? And the idea is that we very often go to our politicians and look for something. We look for money, we look for funding, we look for regulation. And we have to find the story that tells to the politicians the value we bring. So that's one of the themes that we'll be exploring in the next few months to try and create a section of the conference based around that. But I'm sure we'll be looking forward to engaging with the board and all the CIRCOM members over the next few months until we arrive in Galway exactly a year from now. So looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you for your attention and safe travel to those who are departing today and those of you who are travelling onwards, as they say, for the cultural excursions. Hope you enjoy that too. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. See you next year in Ireland. And for you guys, enjoy your lunch. And if you can, really use the opportunity to see the rest of Novi Sad, Sremski Karlovci by all means, and Petrovaradin Fortress. This is where your kids will be coming for Exit Festival, or some of you. And when in Sremski Karlovci, ask for wine. All the best. See you next year.